What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It, and you already know what this one is. Finally, we are here. It is fight week for UFC 300, so this is the official breakdown. So, it's going to be a long one. Let's get right into it. Let's go. Now, before I fully start this breakdown, I gotta show off the brand new shirt for UFC 300. I had to get the DuBronx shirt because the champion has a name, and it's Charles DuBronx Oliveira. But the reason I'm bringing this shirt into it is because I have to give a major shout out to the brand Full Violence. Not only is the page on social media, every social media aspect of them is awesome, but this shirt is goated already. It's the first shirt that I got from them, and it's goated already. It fits perfect. It's nice and comfortable. It's like that solid material that you can tell is like a good quality shirt. The print is good. It's not one of those chintzy cheap prints. So shout out to Full Violence. No, this isn't no sponsorship thing or nothing like that. I just had to give a shout out to them because this shirt is the best money spent, honestly, and I'm going to be getting a lot more fight stuff from them. So if you need some fight gear, some dope fight shirts, you got a favorite fighter you're looking at, check out Full Violence. They got tons of good items. Alright, so after that, look at that. I'm doing shout outs. I'm not even getting money for it. I'm out here doing shout outs for these brands. But look, UFC 300 is this weekend, and I can't believe it. We're finally here. This is so wild. Like, as you guys all know, UFC 100 was my first actual pay-per-view of UFC. I watched different fight nights and stuff like that, along Spike and everything like that when they were playing the replays. But my first ever sit down and watch a pay-per-view live was UFC 100. So every time that we hit these big marks, right? UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300, I get super hyped. Now, you know I get super hyped for 98% of the fights, man. I love watching the fights. I love watching this sport. But at the end of the day, this card is huge. This is stacked. I mean, you have two former champions opening the early prelims, right? This is a breakdown that I am literally going from the early prelims all the way to the main event. This is going to be a long breakdown that I hope to make quick, but no guarantees. So buckle up. We're starting with the opening fight. Beautiful fight. Deiveson Figueiredo is going up against Cody Garbrandt. Now, can you honestly believe that that is on the early prelims? Because that's what is opening the card. So at 6 o'clock, you are already guaranteed to have bangers. Starting at 6 o'clock. Sometimes you gotta wait until one of the later fights in the prelims and shit starts kicking off, and you start getting bigger names and stuff like that. Nope, we're right off the bat at 6 o'clock with two former champions. Deiveson Figueiredo is taking on Cody Garbrandt. I'm not gonna get deep into the breakdown aspect of all these fights. I'm gonna give you a lot of predictions, but if Deiveson Figueiredo stays aggressive, presses Cody, I think he can definitely get it done. I think Deiveson Figueiredo is very talented, very skilled, and not having to deplete himself to go down to 125 is the best thing that he can do for his career. But if Cody Garbrandt is on and locked in, Cody is very good. Now, we know his chin is questionable, right? We've seen him get rocked many, many times, but it's one of those things where Cody lands one and you can get rocked. So we'll see what happens. I'm leaning more Deiveson Figueiredo, but I want Cody. But if you're betting, I'd probably lean Deiveson, but I definitely want Cody to win this. I love seeing Cody Garbrandt win, and I want to see him keep it going. So I'm rooting for Cody, but I'm leaning with Deiveson in that one. Moving on, you got Bobby Green and Jim Miller. Look at that. Jim Miller gets his UFC 300 wish. How awesome is that? To me, it's awesome because simply because he followed all the big ones. Like I was just saying, I saw UFC 100, right? That was my first You get UFC 200 was a huge card. It didn't live up to expectations, but it was supposed to be a massive card. And then you got UFC 300, and Jim Miller has been on 100, 200, and is now going to be on 300, going up against Bobby Green. That matchup is fun, right? They're two dudes that show that they can still hang with any young guy that's on the come up, right? Bobby, he's got the confidence, he's got the swagger, he's got the hands. His boxing's amazing, right? He's had some ups and downs in his past few fights, but Bobby knows how to get the crowd going. That's a perfect fight to have on the early prelims because he's going to get the crowd going. And if Jim Miller gets the win, that crowd is going to go insane just simply because Jim Miller gets a win at UFC 300. That's huge. I mean, the dude has 37 wins, 17 losses. I mean, to fight that many fights. Bobby Green has 31 wins and 15 losses. To fight that many fights is incredible. So two vets going up against each other. Who am I rocking with? That's the toughest decision. Tough decision. You're only as good as your last one. Jim won his last one. Bobby lost. So you could lean Jim Miller, but it depends on where this fight goes. Bobby's boxing is very good, but Jim Miller is able to mix it up in every aspect. I just want to see if Bobby can maybe taunt him into scrapping up, and that's where Bobby might be able to take advantage and do exactly what he needs to do to win the fight. But you can't count a veteran like Jim Miller out. You can't count either of these veterans out. So I really don't know on that one. I'm probably leaning Bobby Green. Moving on, we go to the women's strawweight division because Jessica Andrade is going up against Marina Rodriguez. That's a great matchup. Great matchup. Two very, very talented strawweights. Jessica Andrade, a former champion who has fought literally everybody. You have to give her props. She has fought everybody. A name gets put in front of her, and she says yes. So shout out to Jessica Andrade for taking these fights nonstop. She's always taking fights. And then Marina Rodriguez. This is your chance. This is your chance. You make something happen with this fight, and this is going to elevate you to the position you've been needing to get into, right? But you have to win this one. This one matters more than any other fight that you've been in, right? You win this, this is your gatekeeper, right? You're gonna break through. People are gonna start talking about you in the realm, but you gotta win this, and you gotta win it in a good fashion. You gotta get the finish. Now it's very hard for me to go against Jessica Andrade, but I am a big Marina Rodriguez fan, so I'm leaning Marina Rodriguez in that one. All right, I like this one because this was a late addition. You got Jalen Turner going up against Renato Moicano. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. You got Money Moicano against the Tarantula. Now this is interesting. It really is interesting because the striking of Jalen Turner is something to really like get into. Like sit there and watch Jalen Turner strike. He knows how to work his distance so well. Like so well. His distance management is beautiful, right? He's got a great jab, great 1-2. His straight punches down the middle. He doesn't throw looping shots. Everything straight to the point. Jalen Turner striking is incredible, right? But Renato Moicano, man, he'll go in there and scrap with anybody. My mans don't care. So it's one of those things where he's riding a lot of momentum, right? He's riding this wave where fans are getting behind him because he's got this energy, right? That people just like. When you have a good energy, you attract a lot of people, and that's exactly what he has. He has a lot of good energy. He's attracting a lot of good people, right? And like I said, a couple breakdowns ago, that you're only as good as your last fight. Both of them won their last fight. So it's very interesting. Very tough one to choose. I know a lot of people are leaning Jalen Turner, and I'm just saying don't count Money Moicano out. Now I agree with you because I'm leaning Jalen Turner as well. But do not count Money Moicano out because Renato Moicano will bring a scrap to Jalen Turner. Right? Jalen's going to have to finish him. Definitely going to have to finish him. And he could either finish him early or that fight can go 3. We'll see what happens, but I'm leaning Jalen Turner. All right, so now you move on to the prelims, right? The regular prelims. This is crazy. I basically announced that almost was a breakdown for a full fucking card right there. Now we're on the prelims. You got Sadiq Youssef going up against Diego Lopez. If you go back to my UFC 300 breakdowns and talks and discussions and everything building up to this, I said Diego Lopez needs to be at UFC 300 and the wish is granted. And who better to go up against than Sadiq Youssef? This is a chance for Diego Lopez to really prove himself against a guy who's been in there with some tough contenders, right? And he has a lot of skill. Sadiq Youssef has a lot of skill, right? Knockout power, speed, explosiveness, right? But Diego Lopez, man, people fuck with him and he's an animal in there. Just simply that. He's an animal. Great jiu-jitsu and great hands, right? But this fight really matters. He has to get this win to keep it going, but this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. Sadiq Youssef is no scrub. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Right, I don't think I've ever went against Sadiq Youssef except when he went against Arnold Allen. But I'm going against him. I got to go with Diego Lopez in this one. I'm riding the momentum. I'm riding the wave. I think this kid's the truth, and I really do want to see him continue getting wins, continue going, because he's going to be one of those fighters that's just exciting to watch every time he steps foot in there. This one's interesting because you got a debut in this one. The debut of Kayla Harrison, and she's going up against a former champion in Holly Holm. My personal opinion, Kayla Harrison's going to win this fight. Depending on her weight cut, right? I don't know how much that's going to deteriorate, and bother her and stuff like that. But overall, I don't think we got the same Holly Holm that we were used to seeing. She was on a great run at one point, and I just don't think that's the same Holly Holm anymore. Kayla Harrison's hungry. She hasn't made her way to the UFC. She's got a lot of doubt to prove wrong, right? And she does have a skilled judo background, and she really does have skill. She hasn't fought amazing contenders, right? This is going to show if she can do it. But I think she's going to be able to get Holly Holm down, and that's where the whole aspect's going to change. But if Holly looks sharp, man, if she can strike, I hope she doesn't make no mistakes by trying to wrestle and stuff like that. She's probably better off keeping the distance, striking at a distance, and really giving Kayla looks that Kayla never had before in the striking department. So we'll see. I'm leaning Kayla Harrison in this one. I feel like Holly Holm just at this point is not the best matchup for her, like it is for a debut, right? But it's not the same Holly Holm that we're used to seeing and who we expect. Now I'm not saying she's washed, but I'm just saying Kayla's got to be super hungry coming into this, making a debut. So another former champion on the prelims, Aljamain Sterling making his 145 debut against Calvin Kattar. This is interesting, real interesting. You got Calvin Kattar, a beautiful boxer. My man is willing to slug with anybody. And then you got a annoying chain wrestler like Aljamain Sterling. Now, I'm curious to see. Aljo's coming off of a KO loss, right? Calvin Kattar pops with his shots. I'm curious to see what's going to happen when he gets hit with a couple shots from Calvin Kattar. If Calvin keeps it in a boxing distance and stuffs a couple of these takedowns, I don't know. Look, it's weird because Aljo is a big 135, but I still feel he might be small for 145, if that makes sense. Or maybe just him going up against Calvin seems like a bad matchup, but I'm definitely leaning Calvin in this one, right? I'm not sleeping on Aljo, right? Former champion. We already know the wrestling background's there, and he's got skilled striking, but I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a tough one. This is truly a tough one for him. It really is. If you think about it, it's a very, very tough fight for Aljamain Sterling because going up to 145 after a KO loss against a guy who is specifically a puncher, specifically a boxer who can crack, it's interesting. But we'll see what happens. But I'm leaning Calvin Kattar on now, and I think the boxing is gonna be the difference maker. I don't think Aljo is gonna get the takedowns like he believes, and if Calvin Kattar keeps it in his distance, he's gonna work him. Again, former champion Yuri Petroska going up against Alexander Raychik. Great fight. Great fight. Two strikers. You're not going to see much groundwork. I could be wrong. You'll probably see Raychik shoot just because I said that. But you'll see some leg kicks. Raychik throws good leg kicks. You'll see Yuri doing his typical bouncing around weird stuff. You got two long, lanky dudes in the division. And one has a simple style, right? Raychik's got a very simple style, packed with power, right? But it's simple, and it's clean, and it's effective. And then you got Yuri, who has another effective style, but it's different, man. It's real different. It's odd, right? Yuri's very odd with the way he does stuff. The way I see this fight going is Raychik having early success. Then Yuri opening up and being able to do exactly what he needs to do, right? I think Yuri has so much talent, right? I mean, look, go back to the Glover Teixeira fight. I was watching that fight today. Go back to the Glover Teixeira fight. It shows you all the skill sets that Yuri Petroska has, and really, if he worked on any of those key things, he's good. He's good. Raychik's coming off an injury, right? First fight back off an injury is Yuri Petroska. That's a tough fight. And it's hard for me to go up. It's hard for me to go against Yuri. I think the unorthodox style, like I said, I think Raychik's gonna have early success. I think Yuri will take over. I'm going with Yuri Petroska on that one. This is done. I feel like I should make like 2 separate videos for this card. It's so fucking good. All right, you got Bo Nickel and Cody Brundage opening the card. Bo, this is your chance to prove to everybody that you're the truth. If you're the truth, show us. All right, show us. No, I do think the kid is extremely talented, extremely skilled. Right, his wrestling is fantastic. Cody Brundage, on the other hand, you know, he's good. That's pretty much all I gotta say about Cody Brundage. Is he's good. You know, he's good. But I feel like why is this opening the main card? That's just how I feel about it. You know, but this is all for Bo Nickel to be the star. But Cody Brundage has a chance to take that all away, snatch the rug out from under Bo Nickel, kill the hype train in the biggest stage of them all, UFC 300, opening the main card. That is massive. If Cody Brundage got the win against Bo Nickel, that'll probably be one of the biggest upsets in the betting odds, I would assume. I would totally assume that's one of the biggest upsets in the betting odds. But I definitely think that Cody Brundage has to go in there with the mindset that he just do not give a fuck about Bo Nickel's wrestling, and he's not going to worry about it the whole time, and he's going to hit him with something or put something in there that's going to make Bo not want to shoot again. You know what I mean? He's got to make Bo regret shooting. But we know the skill set of Bo Nickel when it comes to the wrestling. If he gets this fight to the ground, it's over. That's just how I feel about it. I think that fight is a wrap if he gets it to the ground. And who knows on the striking side? Really, who knows? We'll see on the striking side. Like I want to see Bo against somebody with really skilled striking, because he says he's got good striking. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him work with somebody with good striking. But time will tell. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Let's see if he gets past Cody Brundage. And then we'll move on to the next from that. But I'm definitely leaning with Bo Nickel in this one. But Cody Brundage has got the biggest chance of his career to kill the hype train at the biggest stage of them all. Moving on. I don't even want to break this one down. You already know I'm too biased, bro. I'm too biased. Now let me be honest though. This is truly how I feel and see this fight playing out, right? I can see Arman having tons of success, right? He likes to bull rush his opponents, right? He's very quick and in your grill. He throws powerful shots. His shots are bad with bad intentions, right? But if you're going in there with the mindset that Charles Oliveira only has a rear naked choke, mistaken, bro. Watch out for second round Charlie Olives. We've seen him in the second and third round. The man comes out like a savage, right? If Armand can't get it finished early, I think Charles has definitely got this. I think Charles has definitely got this. Look, I view the same things that other people view, right? He's my favorite fighter, but I view the same things that other people view. I see what you guys see. I see him get hit with the shots that he gets hit with. I see his openings. I see all the shit that everybody points out, right? But you also got to sit back and look at the way he fights, right? He comes back from every aspect. Has fought every style of a fighter, right? Obviously, big hiccup against Makhachev. Comes back, beats Benil Dariush, right? This is another opportunity to show the world, when everybody's counting him out again, which is crazy, how you count this man out. The most finishes in the division, most submissions in history. Is crazy. It's just crazy that you guys count this man out. But if he gets this done, right, this is huge, because it's a similar stylistic matchup to Islam. It remotivates, pushes him back, and you already know if he gets this win, he's in line for a title shot, 100%. Now, I know the next fight people are going to be talking about will also be possibly in line for a title shot, but if Charles gets this win, I can definitely see him in line for a title shot. And you already know, the champion has a name, and it's Charles Do Bronx Oliveira. So you already know which way I'm rocking. Arman Tsarukyan is an absolute fucking savage, right? Taking nothing away from the dude. He is a savage. He is incredibly skilled, and I said it in the last video. The kid is the future, right? He's part of the future of the lightweights. You know what I'm saying? That next generation of these guys coming in, right? With Benoit Saint Denis, Gamrot, all these different guys, the Jalen Turners, all these guys on the come up, right? He's part of that next wave, but not yet. It's still Charlie O time. It's still Do Bronx's time. So I'm rocking with Do Bronx for sure. You already know. Then moving on, you got Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. Yo, listen. Oh, that cotton mouth is crazy after you smoke. All right, listen. This matchup was just thrown together for fans to get a little fan hype, a good matchup, because it's Max Holloway, big fan favorite, Justin Gaethje, big fan favorite. Two guys that are known to scrap, right? But I don't want to see either of them really lose this fight, right? So you're telling me that Justin Gaethje's opportunity to get back to a title shot, right, is if he wins this fight. And if Max wins this fight, he gets the title shot at 145, and Gaethje loses the opportunity to get the 155. I don't know, but the BMF thing, I get it. You gotta have that status, and these are two bad motherfuckers. So someone's gotta hold this belt at the end of the day, and I would love to see it around Max Holloway's waist, if I'm being honest with you. I would love to see Max Holloway get it. Max Holloway coming up to 155. A lot of people doubting him. A lot of people thinking this is the one. Oh, this is when Max is going to get KO'd. This is when Max is going to get slept. I think Max's biggest issues is them leg kicks that are going to be coming, right? You better be prepared to check them shits, right? Because he didn't check any leg kicks against Volkanovski in that first fight. He did in the second fight and answered back with some. The third fight was not really. But he's really got to check leg kicks. I mean, simple as that. He has to check leg kicks, bro. You got to keep it. You got to keep them legs up. You got to keep them legs up, right? Keep checking, blocking, all that shit. You just can't let this man work your legs and be too dominant with that shit. Now, I can see Max having tons of success, hella volume, landing a lot, right? But then I also see Justin Gaethje hitting him with some shots that Max is going to definitely step back and lose the opportunity to continue with the volume, right? Max will step back if he gets hit with a clean one by Justin Gaethje. He's the most powerful striker in the division, right? So, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Max looks big going into this. Max looks healthy for 155. He looks solid, right? He looks like he's taking this super serious. He bulked up and shit. But man, he's going up against a absolute killer. Fucking killer. That's like the boogeyman of the lightweight division. So it's hard for me to really choose on this one because my heart wants to go with Max Holloway, really. And I did say I'm going with Max Holloway, right? But at the same time, you know how this is. You know how this game is, right? You just don't want to see a fan favorite lose like that, right? Max Holloway's the last guy you want to see lose, but you also don't want to see Gaethje lose, but Gaethje can bring some damage to Max. So I don't know. It's a very interesting fight. It's gonna be fight of the night, without a doubt. It's definitely gonna be fight of the night. It's gonna be a scrap. They're gonna go back and forth. Um, Too bad it's not 5. I don't know why they. Oh wait, no, it is 5 because it is championship fight. This is technically a championship. Let's go. So it is 5. It is 5. We get a 5-round fight. BMF championship. It might not be a legit championship, but it's a championship. So we're getting 5 rounds. Let's go. I don't know. At the end of the day, like I said, I want Max Holloway. I could lean towards Justin Gaethje simply because it's Gaethje, but I'm rocking with Max. I'm rocking with Max. The best is blessed. So, is this that time when I get to the big dog breakdown? I don't know. This whole card is big dog breakdown. We ain't even doing no big dog breakdown. But Weili Zhang going up against Yan Xiaonan or Zhang Weili. I don't know which way it is. Every time I see it, it's different. What the fuck? But yeah, this matchup is actually a phenomenal matchup that is the most slept on matchup on the card. Most slept on matchup. This is going to be a beautiful display of martial arts in every aspect, right? Both of these girls have amazing striking. Now we already know, Zhang Weili's striking is nasty. She's powerful, she's quick, she's explosive, and now training with Henry Cejudo. She was training with Henry Cejudo. Now she's got this background of wrestling where she's a fucking wrestling savage now. Now, Yan Xiaonan has a phenomenal ground game, has really good jiu-jitsu, but her striking has improved a lot too. So she's got really good striking as well. I think this fight's mainly going to be on a stand-up, but I think you're going to see Weili Zhang just unload in different ways. 5 rounds, she's just gonna control the entire fight. I think maybe Yan is gonna find different moments where she lands well, she lands good shots. She's looking like she's got a chance, right? But then that's when Zhang Weili's gonna switch it up, right? She's gonna change the game plan. She's gonna shoot for a takedown. She's gonna go for a clinch. She's gonna mix the game up. She's gonna keep Yan Xiaonan on her toes, especially with the takedowns, because I think that Yan's takedown defense isn't gonna be that fantastic for the strength of Weili Zhang. But I don't know. She got past Carla Esparza, or no, she didn't. Did she? She got past Carla Esparza. Or is that the fight that Carla Esparza won? I think that's the fight that Carla Esparza won. Yeah, that's the fight Carla Esparza won. Yeah, so she lost to Carla Esparza. She beat Mackenzie Dern, lost to Marina Rodriguez, beat Jessica Andrade. But oh yeah, that was a nasty KO though. That was a nasty KO. Could be a really exciting fight. Very slept on stylistically. And it's the first ever Chinese champions or Chinese fight for a championship. Both fighters are Chinese. That's kind of dope too. So, back to the next shite. The main event. Fuck. This one's going to be nerve-wracking, right? 2 powerful swingers. Somebody's going to sleep. That's my fucking prediction. Do you really want me to get into a full breakdown? Maybe I'll do it in a separate episode or something, because there really is no breakdown. We know how both these guys are, right? We've seen the way Jamal Hill strikes, right? And now he spams fucking head kicks. He was spamming head kicks up against fucking Glover Teixeira, right? But he's coming off an injury, right? This is his first fight back. Alex has built this status of being an absolute killer, right? Scariest dude in the division type of thing. Powerful striking. Beautiful left hook. Who's going to win this fight? I want to lean with the champ, right? I'm more than likely sticking with Alex Pereira, right? I really am rocking with Poatan. I think he is an absolute beast, right? But Jamal Hill ain't no fucking punk. He ain't no bitch to count out or nothing like that. He's a savage too. I mean, you saw the work he put up against Glover Teixeira. Knocked out Johnny Walker, beat up Thiago Santos. Has a lot of really good wins, right? The dude is skilled. Last loss he had was against Paul Craig. But I think that in the striking aspect, he's going in there with this mentality that Alex isn't going to knock him out. He's going in there trying to knock out Alex, which could be good, right? It could benefit him. It may benefit him to bull rush, get in there, get right into Alex's grill, right, and force Alex to get into a scrap. But at the same time, it could negatively. We've seen guys who have chins that we didn't expect to get dropped when Alex just slightly touches them with the left hook, right? I'm not saying that this guy's got like an unstoppable left hook. If he lands, you're done. It's over with. No chance, right? He's not Mike Tyson. He's not Deontay Wilder. He doesn't hit like a killer like that, right? He's not Francis Ngannou, but he does have that touch of death. He does have the hands of stone, and he's got a very very fight oriented mindset. Like, just it's hard to go against Poatan, man. It really is. It's hard to go against Poatan, and I fuck with Jamal Hill. So it really sucks having to pick this. That's another thing with this whole card. So many of your favorite fighters are fighting each other. It's hard to really pick, right? You're trying to avoid picking these, but I'm leaning Alex Pereira. But the overall full prediction, right, is either way that this fight goes, somebody's going to sleep. There's no way. If this fight goes 5 rounds, I don't even know. I will be absolutely shocked if this fight goes 5 rounds. There's just no way. No way. Somebody's going to sleep. But overall, that was the official breakdown for UFC 300. I appreciate you guys for viewing. You already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. Maybe I'll have something else before UFC 300. But if not, I'll catch you with the review. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.